is a professional photography and graphic design business. We want you to enjoy viewing some of our display of works, and more can be viewed, requested through the email provided. We are looking forward to a great collaborating experience with you. We are unique.
Baltimore and surrounding areas, get ready for a day to remember. Saturday, May 13th, 2023, from 1 o'clock p.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. Join us as we celebrate the Mission Meets Ministry second annual Pre-Mother's Day Fashion Show. Enjoy the show, lunch, networking, and other wonderful activities. We want to give you an unforgettable Pre-Mother's Day celebration. This amazing event, not T.R.I.V.I.A's Inspirational Radio would like to inform you that the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in the following show are solely the sentiments of the participants of the show. T.R.I.V.I.A's Inspirational Radio Network is not responsible for content. As always, thanks for watching. This is a story about a little girl who learned to say yes to herself unapologetically. The She Said Yes to Herself Unapologetically platform is here to motivate, encourage, and empower you. The little girl had dreams of becoming a playwright. Motivational speaker. And best-selling author. When the little girl finally realized she had slept on herself and her God-given abilities, she grew up and became all of these things. Now she's helping others to say yes to themselves. And she wants to inspire you to say yes to yourself too. A Yes to Herself platform and T.R.I.V.I.A's Inspirational Radio across all available social media platforms. The truth lyrics and vocals were performed by Tyler Brown.
Now that was fire.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live and in the building on tonight. My name is Chanelle Coleman-Westley, and I am the host of She Said Yes to Herself Unapologetically. And I'm excited on this evening. No, there are no guests, but I'm just excited to be here with you guys in this space. So I'm excited that I'm here. Hopefully everybody's having an amazing Tuesday. It's off to a great start of the week. I'm here to talk about some things that I'm really excited about, namely this thing right here that says she said yes to herself unapologetically, the empowerment guide for women. So again, I'm really excited about this on today. I have some tips, tools, and strategies, some insights from this newly released book out on Amazon, so that you guys can get that information and be able to go ahead and get your copy. So I'm really excited about the release of this book. She said yes to herself. And I really, I guess I'm going to kind of give a little backstory on the whole She Said Yes to Herself Unapologetically, the empowerment guide for women. Last year, I finally released my first project, which was Naked and Not Ashamed, the transformational devotional experience. And it was, again, a devotional for women. And thank you, Teresa, I really appreciate that. And as I had finally released my book, I go to YouTube University. I don't know if anybody else goes to YouTube University, but this girl right here does. And whenever I'm trying to look up and find out what I should be doing or what should be moving on in my business, YouTube always has a plethora of information. And so I was reading and watching some videos and also reading some content from Google. And most of the critics were saying the same thing. In order to sell your book, you have to write your next book. So I'm like, wait a minute. So in order to sell this book, I have to write another book? Okay. So I was thinking, all right, what do I want to talk about? Because I already knew who I was talking to, because generally I speak to women audiences. That's really what my vein is. And so I'm like, and that's what I'm most passionate about. And so I'm like, okay, so how am I going to do this? What am I going to write about? I started thinking about where I was right now at this phase in my journey. I'm 46, young and loving it. Yes, let me just first of all say that. And I had to think back over my life and where I was, from start to finish, where I had ended up. And I'm thinking, there were times when I really shrunk myself. I put myself into spaces and places that really couldn't contain me. And because of that, I had to put myself in a box in order to fit. And so as I had become older and more life experiences, things had really kind of pushed me to come outside of the box. And where I was at that moment, and still to this day, is I'm at a space right now where I'm saying yes to myself, because there was a time when I was telling myself no to myself. I know, tell me, Teresa, YouTube is definitely on it, right? But I was at a space where I was constantly telling myself, no, you can't do it. No, it's not the right time. No, how are you qualified to do it? All these different things, these dreams, these ideas, your aspirations. How can you do it? You can't do it. And so I finally reached a period in my life where I was now saying yes to myself. And at first, when I was saying my yes, it was done very timidly, like, yeah, I kind of say yes to myself. But then I became more bold in my stance, and I really started being firm in my yes for myself, and not having any apologies or compromises for it. And so because of that, it really helped put me into an amazing space. And that's where she was born. She said yes to herself unapologetically. And I was thinking, okay, well, since I know who I'm writing to and I know what the storyline, the title is, because I got the title before I even had the content, I started thinking, well, what are some things that I want to share with women in this book, in this empowerment guide? And so some of you who have gotten the book, you already know what's inside of this book. But today I'm spilling tea. That's right. Usually people don't tell you what's in the book. They say, you got to get the book before you find out. Nah. I'm spilling tea on today. We're going to find out what exactly is in this book that made it hit newly released bestseller on Amazon for a new release. So let's see what's in this book. She said yes to herself. This book, of course, is dedicated to my amazing children, all 6 of them, and my 2 adorable grandchildren. I now have another grandchild on the way. So when I wrote this, I didn't have one on the way. So I just mentioned the 2. And let's get down to the meat and potatoes. I also do an acknowledgement to those who pre-ordered the book right when it's inception, right when I said I'm thinking about writing this book. And I have people who poured into me. So I did acknowledge them as well. So let's get to the first thing. We talk about breakups. How many of you all know that breakups are so hard to do? And when you think about breakups, you're thinking about that relationship that you had with that guy. Or if you're a guy, you're thinking about that relationship that you had with that girl. Or you might be thinking about your friendships. Things might start off really cool, and then somewhere along the line, things kind of got out of whack. But no, it's not referring to breakups with people, places, and things. It was more so with yourself. Because I don't know about you, but there has been times when this girl right here has been the problem. That's right. This girl right here has been the problem. There were things that I accepted that I should not have accepted. There were limitations that I placed on myself that I had no business placing on myself or my God-given abilities. I really didn't challenge myself, and I didn't push myself to go forward. And I had to break up with that form of myself, my limiting views, some of my ways. Sometimes you can say, hate it or love it, it's just me. But no, this girl is all about changing. Honey, Grant Teresa, girl, you must be my soulmate because you feeling I'm everything I'm saying. Yes, your grandkids will lighten up your life. They just kind of put like a new burst of energy into your life. Yesterday, I had the amazing opportunity to play with both my grandkids. We running around doing stuff. I'm like, this is amazing. And so I don't call myself grandma though. I call myself a Gigi. Because again, this girl's 46 years young and she ain't nobody calling me grandma. They calling me Gigi. So let me just put that out there too. But yes, your grandkids are amazing. They give you, a newness for life and they really help you see things from a whole perspective because you can even see your children in them and yourself a little bit in them. So it's like an amazing mirror to look into. So we talk about those breakups though, right? Because we find ourselves into spaces. Go ahead, Nana. I ain't mad at it. So we find ourselves in spaces, in places that we really don't want to be in. And sometimes the biggest person that's holding us back is us, right? And so I really address that because we need to let go of that limited you, and old you is not going to take you into new you doors, right? Because how many of you know that old keys don't turn what? New doors, right? You need some new wine, some new fusion, some new ideas, some new mindsets that are going to take you to that next level. So the first thing we do is a breakup. The second thing we do is a pledge because we want to be intentional about bringing the things that we want to bring into our life, right? We don't just want to be casual and just say, well, if it comes, it comes. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. We're going to be purposeful. We're going to be intentional. We're going to say, these are the things that I want in my life. And then we're asking God and we're believing God to do those things for us. But we also understand that there is a portion that we must play as well. There's some things that we have to do. And so we do our part. And that's when we do our pledge. I'm going to just read some snippets throughout, and I'm going to just kind of walk y'all through this book. And then I got some other things that I want to share with y'all as well. Okay, so let's get to this breakup. All right. So it says, breakups aren't easy, but they are at times in life when they are required. I'm not talking about ending a relationship with someone else. I'm referring to any toxic character traits, tendencies, or versions of yourself. Let's face it, there are times when we've been the problem. We've willingly accepted treatment we knew we weren't worthy of. We took a backseat to our dreams and aspirations. And now we recognize it's time for us to change this narrative. There was a time in my life when I allowed myself to become comfortable in my depression. So I parked on the highway of life and allowed the world to pass me by. I allowed my fears to hold me hostage, or I made excuses for my own negative behavior because, love it or hate it, that's me. Does that sound familiar to you? Right? And so those are some of the mindsets that I had at one point. So I had to adopt something new. And so when we think about the pledge, it says, today and you put in your name. I vow to love myself boldly, courageously, and completely. I recognize I am both fearfully and wonderfully made. My body is the temple of the Most High God. I pledge to become intentional about realizing my needs, wants, and desires. I will live my life to the height, depth, and extent of my God-given potential. I will embrace a lifestyle that optimizes my ability to incorporate a healthy mind, body, and spirit. No weapon formed against me, whether it is a tool of the enemy, inventions of man, or self-sabotage, will prosper. I forgive myself for the things I did to cope while surviving traumatic experiences. I recognize the mistakes of the past. I will treasure the lessons I've learned at a great price. But I am no longer bound by my feelings. I'm telling you, it goes on, but we have to have a new mindset after we've broken up with that toxic version of ourselves. We have to begin implementing something new, right? Pouring in something new. So we provide some anchor texts that are going to help you in your journey as you're going through life, right? Because we understand that life is going to give us some challenges. It's going to give us some heartache. It's going to give us some pain. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read the title for each and give you like a little snippet of what it's talking about in that particular chapter. So we have 21 actionable steps that take you from waiting on it to walking in it. Chapter 1, from fearful to fearless. Because this chapter is necessary. Before we do anything, we have to recognize what our fears are. What are our limitations? What are our limiting views that are keeping us from accessing that next level, that next elevation? We're trying to go higher. What's in the way? And most times it's fear. Sometimes it's fear of success, and sometimes it's fear of failure, but there's a very real fear. And we need to address that before we go any way forward. And so we talk about our fears. One of my fears as an early age was riding the roller coaster. I wanted to ride, but at the same time, I was scared of the ride. And if you've ever been to Great America, they have this ride called the Eagle. And I don't know about you, but that thing was just so, my mountains is big, it's high, it's up off the air, it has its loops, its turns, it's the fastest dual roller coaster in the world. And it's a wooden coaster. Now, I mean, you're going through all these drops and twists and turns. And initially, when I first made my first effort to get on the Eagle, y'all, my knees were knocking, my stomach was churning, I was sweaty palms, I'm just feeling all anxious. I get up to the front of the line. It's my time to go, Teresa. When I get there, everybody is waiting for me to go forward, but I'm immobilized by my fears. And so I turn around and I have to take the long walk of shame going down the wrong way with my excuse me, because I'm not on the other side of the coaster because I didn't go through with the ride. But it kept aching at me. And I'm like, okay, I got to go back and do this thing. So I finally get the nerve to go back and to get into the roller coaster. And y'all, Jackie, my hands are sweaty. My knees is knocking. My stomach is turning. Hey, Janice, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm on this ride. And y'all, I had the audacity to be in the first cart. So, you're seeing everything. And when it starts off, it's fine enough, right? And so you're going on your coaster and it's taking you slowly up. And it don't seem so bad yet because you're just slowly going up. But once you reach the top, girl, they have the nerve to stop right there so you can look around and know that you done made the wrong decision. And before you can even make a decision about doing something different, whoosh, you down and you're going around and girl, people was raising their hands up in the air. Let me just show you, girl, they putting their hands up in the air, they doing all this stuff, and I'm like, I'm holding on here for dear life. I feel like this thing ain't content to be able to hold me down. What if I fall out? Girl, I'm praying in Jesus' name. I know when I get scared, I know who I'm supposed to call on. So immediately I start praying. I'm like 8 or 9 years old. I'm like, Father God, if you could get me off this ride in Jesus' name, I promise you I'm going to bless your soul. I'm not going to do nothing else crazy in my life. Just let me get off of here. And then I'm like, okay, you know what? The wooden ones, girl, the wooden ones, they do make that noise. And so when I'm riding on this coaster, everybody's having fun but me because I'm still worried. I'm still anxious. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is the worst thing. I don't know what's happening. And I see people raising their hands. So I'm like, well, maybe I'm not enjoying this ride because I don't have my hands up. I'm supposed to put my hands up. So I put my hands up. Y'all, how about we was getting ready to go down for another hill? And I'm like, oh, something. My mind was like, girl, if you don't snap out of it and put both of your hands on this bar and hold on for all your life. And that's what my little self did. But once I got off of that ride, y'all, I felt so exhilarated. I felt like, oh my goodness, I did it. So I was so geeked up that I did it again. And every time that I go to Great America, Six Flags Great America, I always make sure that I ride her, the Eagle. It's just something when you're conquering your fears. And each time that I dream, I look for that same anxiety, the rumbling in my stomach, the knees knocking, me feeling sweaty, me questioning, like, am I supposed to be up here? Should I be doing this right now? If your dreams are not big enough that they're giving you a pause and making you question your sanity and making you ask yourself, girl, what is you doing up here? Then you're not dreaming big enough. You're not playing big enough. So I'm going to tell you, play big. That's the first chapter, from fearful to fearless. Then we talk about taking care of you is a necessity. as women, we're always taking care of everyone else. And most times we put ourselves and our dreams and our visions and aspirations on the back burner. So I'm telling you not to negate your responsibilities of pouring into your family, because yes, God blessed you with that family. Ain't that right, Jackie? So you need to take care of those of your responsibilities with your family. But you also, it doesn't give you the permission to check out on your dreams and your ideas and your goals and God's purpose for you. Next, we talk about you get what you allow. Honey, let me tell y'all something. For a long time, when you tell stories, at least the people that I know and myself included, we tell stories from a standpoint that this happened to me. This happened to me. Now, there are times like abuse, when things happen to you and it's outside of your fault and you didn't participate at all. When someone is abusing you, whether it's physical, mental, sexual, relational, that's abuse, and it's not okay. And we should not tolerate that in any of its form. We need to seek immediate counsel so we can get out of that situation alive, right? And in good mental capacities to be able to do so. But what I'm referring to is the things that we've tolerated, things that we have accepted, because sometimes you can be in positions where you accept the unacceptable. And I'm telling you, there were spaces in my life where I had to recognize that I contributed to the treatment that I received because I was permissive, or I allowed it with certain people because they were close to me. In the book, I would talk about my brother, and he and I are really close, and he's my younger brother. But I allow my guilt, feeling like I need to do certain things for him because we lost our father at an early age. And I felt that responsibility as being his older sister of things that I needed to do or I had to do. And it just wasn't a really a good relationship after a while because of certain things that were tolerated. And you're right, Jackie, you do have to put yourself first, because if you continue putting others first, then they will definitely show you how that thing is set up. And so I had to learn that. And so I've learned, and I wanted to pass that lesson along to other women, that you do get what you allow. Next, talked about you are what you eat. And sometimes when you think about that statement, you're thinking about what you're physically eating, your food. But it's more than that. It's what you're putting into your senses, what you're allowing to come into your mind, to come into your spirit. If you're listening to things that are constantly negative, that are aggressive, depressing, things that are taxing on you. Thanks, Jackie. I really appreciate that, girl. I love your book too. I do. It can't always be nice. I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. But but it really can really take from you. So you really want to make sure that when you're putting things into you, whether it's your food, whether it's your what you're listening to, what you're reading, what you're viewing, all those things, I want you guys to be very cognizant that what you eat is going to become you. What you're consuming, those are the things that you're going to see being played out. Jackie, that is so very sweet. Thank you for making that comment. I'm so very happy and blessed to hear that it's been helping. I definitely appreciate that. And thank you for getting the books. I appreciate you. I love you, girl. So your pain is parallel to your progress. That chapter is really important to me because so many times we're on the brink of having progress, but sometimes we get so discouraged by the pain that we are presently feeling that oftentimes we will let go of the progress because the pain is present, and we were concentrating so much on the pain that we don't see the progress, when the progress and pain are both at the same space at the same time. And the thing that I can think most to equate to that is childbirth. And as women, we understand what that's like. We understand that contractions are necessary in order to bring a human being into the world. And just like you're trying to birth your dreams or your ideas, it's going to be necessary for them to have contractions as well. It's going to take some pains in order to bring your dreams to fruition. But talk about women forgiving yourself, because sometimes we are our hardest critics. Sometimes we are holding on to the things that we've done so long ago, and we need to let go of those things. You know, if you were literally carrying bags all your life, you know, you would recognize that you would limit the places that you would be able to go, the things that you would be able to accept, because your hands are burdened by what you're carrying. And sometimes we're carrying things, guilt and shame from things that we've done 15, 20, 10 years ago, a year ago, 5 weeks ago. Let it go. Give it to the Lord, confess, Make it right with whoever you need to make it right with, but then let it go. Forgive yourself. If God can forgive you, then how dare you not forgive yourself? You are worthy and you are necessary forgiveness as well. So don't beat yourself up. Definitely give yourself some forgiveness. The other thing is, what you won't release will control you. Now, I don't know about y'all, but this girl right here can keep an attitude. I'm cool until I'm rubbed the wrong way. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm about to give you the side eye. I'm going to look through you like you ain't even there. I don't even know. It's like, don't you know old girl? Old girl who? I don't know her. I don't even know her anymore. Um, that's the level of the petty that I've had in life. And it's something that I've had to ask God to help me with, because, sometimes it just ain't even worth being that petty. Sometimes I be super petty and go get that cape on. I'm like, I'm really going to be extra petty today. And it really doesn't cause all that, because when you're carrying around all that type of anger or animosity, guess what? You think you're in control of it, but truly it's controlling you. Because and I'm gonna prove it to you. You ever been irritated with somebody and you was having a good time talking to people, laughing? Person come in, your whole mood changed, your posture changed. Now you got to turn this way because you don't want to see her, you don't want to see him. Sometimes you may get up like, I'm leaving up out of here. They up in here, we can't even breathe the same air. I don't want to see this person. Or you want people to pick sides. Oh, you like her? Oh, because if you like her and you're supposed to be with me, then you can't even like me like that because you like her. Or, oh, you like him? So we think that we're in control of those feelings, or we think that we're controlling that, but really we're being controlled. We're having those puppet strings being pulled. And so nobody is worth that type of aggravation. Unforgiveness affects us in our hearts, in our minds, in our spirits. And nobody, I don't even care what they did, is deserving of being able to control all those things in our life. So it's better if we just let it go. Do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. We already know that that's the golden rule. I'm a firm believer in sowing and reaping. I was just talking to Carolyn Coleman yesterday. We were talking about this because it's so true. The Bible ain't playing when it say it. What you put out there into the world, what you releasing is going to definitely be coming back on the other end. So you always want to be careful about what you're dishing out, especially if it's something that you don't want to take. Journal your journey. Journaling is so important because it gives you opportunity to have reflection. It gives you opportunity to step outside of your story and see your story from a different perspective. Enables you to witness growth. It also helps you to identify triggers. What you put in your journal could be for your eyes and God's alone, or what you put in your journal may give birth to a new idea. It may give you an additional income stream by providing you with some business tips and strategies to provide for someone else along their journey. So again, there are so many amazing benefits to journaling. So I just want to recommend that everybody journals their journey. Let's get moving, gorgeous. Why? Because guess what? These are the only bodies we're going to have. You can add to them. You can try to take away from them. But guess what? Those are going to be the same bodies that we're going to have till Jesus come or till we go to sleep. One of those things. But these are the bodies we have. So be good to your body. You're going to need that body 10, 20, 30 years down the line. That body ain't going to be bodying like it was when you was in your teens or when you was in your 20s or your 30s. You better treat that body well while you have it, right? Because if you don't use it, guess what? You're going to lose it. Next thing, activate the power of no. First of all, no is a whole sentence, all right? No doesn't need to be explained. I don't need to go out and expound upon my no. It's a whole sentence. No, I don't want to do it. And it's so releasing. There used to be a time, because I'm a people pleaser by nature, if somebody wants something, even if it was something that, was going to disrupt my entire spirit and my whole schedule and all these things, I'm trying to figure out ways to twist and turn myself to get myself into this yes, because I want to help people and because I want to please people. And it put me into situations that I could have avoided had I went ahead and just say, you know what? I'm not going to be able to do that. Yeah, the answer is no. It's the no is not said with any malice, or bad intent. It's just no. Yeah. No, I'm so sorry. I'm not going to be able to do that. right? And since I've learned to activate the power of no, guess what? I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm able to help people at a better standpoint because I take on the things that I want to take on. And then the things that I cannot take on, I have to recognize my limitations and say, yeah, although that really aligns with what I would like to do at this point, I'm afraid that answer is just going to be no. I'm not going to be able to do it. Right. So activate the power of no. There's no competition. For a while, much of my uh, my childhood, teenage years, and my first earlier years in adulthood, I spent time always comparing myself to somebody else, looking at this woman and looking at that woman. And I was always, measuring myself next to a woman. And whenever I measured myself, I always came up on the shorter end of the totem pole in my own eyesight. And so it caused me to have insecurities. And I was always, feeling like I wasn't whole or something was missing. And because I was so hard on myself, I had that limiting view. And for so long, I saw myself one way. And it took a while for me to come out of that. And how I came out was when I threw down my measuring rod and I stopped comparing myself to other women. I accept that this woman is beautiful and she's awesome and she's amazing. And that's a wonderful thing. And so am I, right? And I don't need to compare myself to this woman. We're not in any competition. We're not lining up in any race that is competitive. Now, we are all running a race of life, and we're all running in the Christian race, hopefully, right? But it's not competitive. It's not who can reach the, finish line the fastest. It's just about running your best race. And I think that that's so important, again, as women, because we are so judgmental on ourselves and because we are so hard on ourselves. I think we need to hear that there is no competition. It's you versus you. You are your only competition. Yes, and amen. And that's it. Um, let's see. Celebrate the small wins. I needed that chapter even for myself because so many times I'm looking for that big thing or that next thing that oftentimes I don't find joy in the moments that I'm having right now because I'm looking for this big thing to celebrate. When we just celebrate big things, we miss out on some amazing opportunities to really just enjoy where we are right there at that moment. And guess what? It takes a lot of little wins to add up to that big win in the end. So a lot of times we're thinking it's this big event that happens. No, it's those small things that give us our progression and our ability to move forward. Um, what is your inner communication saying to you? A lot of times, if I'm honest, my inner communication was telling me, no, you can't do this. Who do you think you are? Somebody else should say that. You don't have this and you don't have that. And so I had to tune out that negative communication and put in positive things. So I start my day with positive affirmations, with the word of God, hearing different motivational speakers pour into me. Those things help me to keep my cup full and ready to overflow so that I can pour out and serve to others. So it's important. A boundary a day keeps the insanity away. Child, I'm going to tell you that. First of all, we don't have enough boundaries. I'm going to tell you why. Boundaries are necessary. Sometimes we think to be good friends that we don't need any boundaries. Yes, we do. When you look at this earth, it's infused both naturally, spiritually, in all different realms. There are boundaries. There are established lines that indicate that this is a territory here, this is a space here, that's a space there. So if God and his wisdom infused boundaries in both the natural and supernatural worlds, how do we think that we can exist cohesively in relationships and not have any boundaries? So boundaries are necessary. They're necessary for your good, for your sanity, and for somebody else. And guess what? A boundary a day could also keep the sheriff away too. So a boundary a day keeps insanity away, and it also can keep the sheriff away too. Let me see. We're almost done. There's more resets. Resetting is about reconnecting, recommitting, and aligning, making sure that number one, where we are in tune with Christ, that we are walking with God hand in hand. We should all take some time during the week to just reset, to reconnect, to recommit, to refocus. I utilize the Sabbath hours, that's from Friday sunset to Saturday sunset, to do my reset time. It's time when I deplug and I de-stress. I'm spending some time with God. I'm in worship. I'm spending time with my family. I'm doing things in my community to uplift and to provide encouragement to others, because that's what true Sabbath keeping is all about. It's about giving worship and honor to God, but it's also about blessing and helping your fellow man. And if we live our lives like that, when we're giving back to God and we're honoring God, and we're also being good neighbors to those in our community and those within our sphere of influence, just think what an amazing space this world could truly be if we did those things. So declutter your space. I don't care who you are. We all got a space in our life that we have to declutter, whether it's, the attic, the basement, the car, the glove compartment, the trunk, or relationships or baggage, things that we're carrying around with us that we still need to declutter. So be intentional about cleaning out that space and allowing that space to really kind of work for you. Embrace the beauty of becoming. I think that's important because, again, we're always looking to that next, and we're not really choosing to acknowledge who we are right now at this moment. To recognize that you are special, that you are loved, that you are chosen, that you are called, that you have a purpose, and that God has a plan for your life. And where you are right now won't be where you will be 5 years from now, but where you are at this moment is really an amazing space to be in. So you really want to be able to enjoy right where you are at this moment, because most times we're thinking, if I do X and then add that to Y, then I'll be happy. But just be happy and content with where you are right now in this space, and be happy that you're growing. Um, Access to you is a privilege that some should be denied. I don't know about you, but I have permitted access to people, places, things, and ideas that had no business in my space, like whatsoever. But I tolerated those things. I brought those things in when they should not have been in my space to begin with. When you think about, stores, and they have all these commodities for sale, sometimes the store asking price could be very low for a particular item, not because the item lost some value or it's not a good product, but just because the item didn't readily fly off the shelf. Then the store manager or owner will say, guess what, we're going to mark down the price. And then some interest may drum up because people say, oh, okay, well, I can get this nice item for a cheaper price, so I'll go ahead and pick it up. But most times when we're getting things for cheaper prices, we don't truly value what we're getting, right? Then there are store owners or businesses that only allow a select few to even bid on their item. The item has an established price, and people in the space are, first of all, just considered to be, A-listers because of their fact that they're able to have access in the vicinity to this item. And the item is only going to go to the highest bidder, those who see the real value in the item. And so you determine your price, because if you don't determine your price, guess what? Someone else will. Most times, when people are helping you select your price and tell you what you're worth, you'll meet some people who are amazing, who will go above and beyond and see what you are at this moment and see what God's called you to be and raise that price. But most times, people will cause you to give yourself away at bargain prices. And so you have to know your worth. You have to know what you're bringing to the table. So again, access to you is a privilege. The power of perception. The power of perception is amazing because your perception really gives you the ability to say what you can see. And I don't know about y'all, but I love DC Marvel movies, right? And in the Infinity War, it was the Avengers against their nemesis Thanos, the all-powerful Thanos, right? And so the Avengers are trying to decide whether or not they're going to fight this battle. And they have a sorcerer. His name is Doctor Strange, and he has this time stone. And he's looking at the time stone, checking the time stone to see if the Avengers are going to be able to be victorious. And he looks a total of 14,605 times. Girl. Now that's a lot of times. And after 14,605th time, he finally saw the outcome that he wanted. And the Avengers decided to fight, even though they knew that their odds was 14,604 to 1. I mean, that's crazy. Every opposite, you have 14,604 times they're telling you you can't do this, you won't be able to do this, you shouldn't do this, it's not for you. And you take that one thing that says, yes, you can do this. Yes, this space is created for you. And you decide to go ahead and do it. So the Avengers show up and they decide to fight and they give it their all. And guess what? They're victorious. What were the lessons that I learned in that? Sometimes we look at a thing and we say, well, I can't do it because I can't see it. You determine what you see. What do you choose to see? Even if your odds are 14,604 to 1, you still have to decide to show up for yourself and say, you know what, I'm going to live to fight another day. I'm going to go ahead and give it all. I'm going to put it all out on the court. I'm going to lay it all out. I'm going to go all in, right? Because you are worth it. Your idea is worth it. Your business is worth it. Your aspirations are worth it because you are special. There is a calling and there's a purpose on your life. And you have to be able to recognize that and embrace that. But when the opportunity that you want in life does not exist, it is your responsibility and your privilege to go out and to create it. So make it happen. You dictate what you see. So that's important. Last but certainly not least, talk about transition never happens in a comfortable place. So many times we're looking to elevate or to move up a ladder or to do all these different things, but we have to understand that elevation oftentimes requires us to become uncomfortable, because unfortunately we become comfortable in limiting circumstances if we're left there, if we don't have an instigator or an aggravator, something to agitate us and to kind of push and prod and pull to get us into the spaces and places that we were designed to be in. And so in this particular chapter, I talk about Hannah and about how she was barren and how God used Peninnah, her hater, to bless her. And what's amazing about that is sometimes we have haters in life and we be like, oh, God, I wish you take away this person or get them out of my life or get them out of my space. But guess what? Your hater is there to bless you. Your hater is there to get you to move, to do some things that you wouldn't normally do because you want to be able to elevate. But if they keep pushing you and picking and prodding, guess what? Eventually, you're going to end up moving into that space that God has already just declared for you, and it's yours. So sometimes we just need that hater to bring it out. So I want to say, again, this book that we've been talking about on tonight is She Said Yes to Herself Unapologetically. You can get this amazing book, well, the ebook version, on Amazon for only 99 cents. That's right. All those 21 actionable steps that are going to take you from waiting on it to walking in it for only 99 cents. So you're definitely getting it for a steal. Soon, this paperback version will be available on there, and you can get that for $19.99, or you can come over to your girl's website at www.shesaidyesToHerself.com and pick up your copy. You just ordered. Come on, Teresa. That's what I'm talking about. She said she just ordered. Make sure you leave a review. I'm going to tell you right now what authors love. Authors appreciate your purchase. We do, and thank you, gorgeous. I really do. But we also love your reviews, honest reviews. Even if it's, you know what, girl, I saw where you was going, but the book wasn't for me. It was for this person. Even if it's that, whether it's good, bad, I won't say bad because I don't think authors like bad reviews, but we like honest reviews. It doesn't mean you have to be hurtful in your review, but it could be, well, this book speaks to this, this, and this, and this. That way you're not giving the author, smacking her upside her head or smacking him upside his head, but be honest, right? And so make sure you leave those reviews on Amazon. Teresa, we're going to have to hook up, girl. I'm just feeling you. I'm just saying. So now we're going to get to this special part. Ah, Teresa, you should be on Black Women Authors. We're gonna hook up. I'm gonna look you up on Facebook when this is over. Jackie, make sure you write her name down. Teresa L. Holmes. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna have to go back and I'm gonna make sure I got you. I'm gonna message you. We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk. Okay, so now I get to my favorite part of the show. We talked about she said yes to herself, but now I gotta talk about some other stuff. Okay, we're gonna talk. Look what I got in the mail from amazing publisher by the name of Laquita Chanelle Parks. Let me just see. Oh my goodness, look at it. Oh, y'all see this? It's from T.R.I.V.I.A Publishing. This is their signature smell roll-on. It helps for medicinal purposes as well. Now, y'all, I got 6 kids, 2 grandchildren, 1 on the way. I'm finna roll this on. I'm gonna tell you, it says Rhapsody. Yes. This smells like Rhapsody. I wish y'all could smell this. Yes, it smells like Rhapsody. I'm gonna put this on. Put some right here too, because people have been on my nerves today. I'll put that. Yes, girl, Laquita. I'm put a little bit more on, because when these kids, when y'all see me from now on and I just start rolling stuff on, just know it's Rhapsody by T.R.I.V.I Publishing. Make sure you go and order yours from T.R.I.V.I. Let me show you what else I got from Miss Laquita. I got some amazing books today that came through. Let me talk about this one right here, because see this book right here? Bam. It's from my girl Laquita. It's called Affirmations of Beauty Redefined. Come through, Laquita. Inspirational quotes to start your day. So if you're looking for a little pick-me-up on your day, go ahead and check my girl Laquita Parks out. I just want to know, did she sign it? Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Love you. Thank you for all you do. May God's love, mercy guide you and keep you. Laquita. I love when authors sign the book. Like, sign the book for me. That's what I'm saying. Sign the book. Now, that's what I talked about with that one. Okay, so we have this one. And it's one I want to read. Y'all see this book right here? It is The Catch and No One Wants. Your girl is currently reading this book right here. It is from the amazing Dr. Velma Bagby. Oh, yes, this is part of a series. Girl, in this book, she is talking about men who are like fish. Girl, they got the, she should have had a scavenger. They got the salmon up in here. Girl, because I mean, she got to break these people down, so you might have to have her on the show. She got the salmon on here, y'all. She got the catfish in here. She got the puffer fish. That's the dude who blow up in your face, want to act all crazy. He cute and sweet 1 minute, next minute, he rivaling up like that, going 4 or 5 times bigger than his actual size. Don't bring none of that negative energy over here. Y'all better catch out the catch that no one wants. But my girl is getting ready to drop a new book. That's right. The phenomenal, the sensational Dr. Velma Bagby is dropping a book on Saturday. That's right. So you can go over to Amazon and you can pick up her book. I'm going to pull it up on, I don't know if y'all can see it on Facebook. When I'm trying to get on my thing, let me just see if y'all can see it. We're just gonna see, just if y'all can, so I can show y'all what the book look like, just real quick. It's The Wrong Catch. I don't know if y'all probably can't see that. Dang it. Nope, I can't show it to y'all, but it's called, maybe y'all can see that a little bit better. It's called, oh my goodness, there's so much wisdom, so many jewels. The Wrong Catch. I really wish y'all could see these imprints, but go pick up Dr. Velma Bagby's book. You will not be disappointed. It's a whole series. The Catch No One Wants, The Wrong Catch. You get everything in between, everything Dr. Velma Bagby. Let me just say that. I have another book that I want to talk to you about real quick. This book I got from Lanice McGee. She's now Funnels. She just recently got married. Her book is entitled The 7-Day Journey, Discovery for Your Purpose. I don't know if you are trying to determine your purpose, asking God to help you find your purpose, but this is a 7-day journey to help you discover your purpose. It's God's vision, my hands, partnership with the divine. Ah, I just got this book. I can't wait to delve into it. Another book that I got from one of my girls who is just near and dear to my heart. Her name is Nubian Star, and this is the novel. Now, this book is called Murder Premonitions. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to pick up this and get my pages turned and get this whole thing read. So, Murder Premonitions. If you're into novels, make sure you get an amazing read by Nubian Star. And she's on Amazon as well. Last, but certainly not least, make sure y'all pick this up. Bam! It Can't Always Be Night by my girl, Jacqueline Cox. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, my girl is a poet. Now, if you ain't ready to start popping your hands and start snapping them fingers, then don't get this book. If you just want to be regular in your life and you ain't looking for some pick-me-up and some spunk to start your day, then don't get this book. If you don't want your energy and your mood to shift, then hey, don't get this book. But if you like all of those things and some, then you want to pick up my girl, Jacqueline Cox's book, and it's entitled It Can't Always Be Night. So these are a few of my favorite things, my new things, and some things I already know about. Yep. So these are all of these amazing books and authors. So make sure you go ahead and support them. Don't forget about girls' book right here. She said yes to herself, unapologetically, the empowerment guide for women. I have a few more minutes before we wrap up, but I also want to tell you guys about an amazing opportunity to give back. I don't know about you, but sometimes my heart gets overflowed and filled up, and I'm thinking, what can I do? How can I impact somebody? How can I help? I'm glad you guys asked. Trivia of Trivia's Inspirational Radio Network. She is having a phenomenal event on May 13th, 2023 in the city of Baltimore, Maryland. She's going to be having a function for Grace Beyond Walls. This is an organization that gives back to children and families, families that are affected by incarceration. And so what they're going to be doing is they're going to be holding a pre-Mother's Day fashion show. Yes, they're going to do a pre-Mother's Day fashion show. Not only will you have some exquisite models who are going to be modeling some trendy things, but you'll also have an opportunity to meet with 3 different women, and well, 1 woman and 2 young ladies who are hold titles within the state of Maryland. That's right. So you'll be able to meet Jaya LaPrada, and you'll be able to see the other 2. They have like a junior queen and a junior queen, and it's just they're too cute and adorable. But it's a way to give back to an amazing cause. Trivia and her organization, they provide help again to many families by running this youth camp. And this youth camp that's close to you, okay. So that means you got to make sure you check her out. So these tickets are only $50, but you got to hurry up and get them because they're going to go up after May 1st. So make sure you get your ticket before then. You want to get those tickets and secure them, especially before those run out. And then all you'll have is the ones that's a little bit upper, but it's going to an amazing cause. They're going to be doing a 6-week intensive care for children. They're providing before program and after program care. They're running a complete program from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. Oftentimes, some of the parents might not have transportation or transportation issues. They're also providing transportation. They're not just having the children in Baltimore, they're actually taking the children outside of Baltimore to see some different sights and sounds so they can go out into some rural areas and do some things with different organizations. So they're able to develop skills and meet new people and have an awareness about God and recognize nature and build relationships. I mean, it's not just preparing children and equipping them with skills for this life, but it's also sowing into them something that's going to take them into the next life. Because I don't know about you, but I believe in the Savior, and I believe in the fact that we definitely, this is not the only life that we can live, right? And so what they're doing is sowing into these children and into these families, making up that deficit. Those families who are affected by incarceration, but because Trivia's heart is so big, they're including so many people in the city of Baltimore. So you can purchase your tickets at eventbrite.com, and you can also make sure you follow Trivia across all her various platforms so you can stay informed about all the latest events with that. Tickets, again, are only $65. $65. They'll be going up after that. You guys want to make sure that you grab your tickets today. Get your tickets so that they don't run out. Get your tickets today. Also, if you like to sponsor, you can, let's say if you're not in the Baltimore area and you're saying, Chanelle, well, I'm not in Baltimore. What can I do? Don't worry. I'm not in Baltimore either, but I got my ticket. Jacqueline's not in Baltimore either, but she got her ticket. And we're also giving some things to try to make sure that this event is a success. Because again, it's embracing and helping to undergird the people in Maryland to really pour back into that community. So many children who are impacted by families with incarceration. So let's be sure to go ahead and to donate. She is taking donations, and she's also taking sponsorships, anything to help those numbers so that they don't have to turn anybody away who's coming to them for this summer program, this summer enrichment program that's going to allow children to be able to experience some sights and sounds outside of the city of Baltimore, and also be able to develop some amazing skills and build some long-lasting relationships. And that's really important. So again, make sure that the information is scrolling right across your screen, www.eventbrite.com/emissions/meet/ministry/tickets 603-660-323277. So be sure that you do that. Now, in case you say, you know what, Chanelle, I see what you're doing. I think I want to be a radio host. Then make sure you go ahead and contact Trivia so that you can be able to set up and have yourself on a show. That's right. You can host a show on Trivia's Inspirational Radio networks. Make sure that you contact Trivia at www.triviasinspirationalradio.com today so that you can make sure that you can solidify a spot, because Trivia is always making opportunities to give people a voice so that they can resonate their message and be able to provide a mission for their goals and for their dreams and aspirations. So all of us hosts are very appreciative of the platform that Trivia provides. So again, make sure you guys pick up your pre-Mother's Day fashion show tickets. There are 65 tickets for general, but hey, why not do VIP up in here and do 100? That's right, because these proceeds are going to an amazing cause. So make sure that you guys go ahead and do that. And again, last but not least, this show today was brought to you by your girl's book, She Said Yes to Herself, Unapologetically, the Empowerment Guide for Women. I have had an amazing time. I found a new friend. Hey, Teresa. Girl, we gonna chat. We definitely are going to chat. As soon as this is over, I'm gonna hop in Messenger and I'm gonna send you a friend request. Like, girl, come on over here to BWA, which is our amazing networking group where we collaborate and we work together as authors to really try to support and network and cross promote. And so everybody needs a village. So find your village. Again, if you're a Black woman author and you have a spiritual emphasis, especially, or something that you are writing and you're a faith-based author, then make sure you connect with us at Black Women Authors. Hey, Teresa, we're going to get really acquainted. So I'm excited about that. I hope everyone has an amazing Tuesday and that you are amazing on purpose. This is Chanelle Coleman-Westley, and you are watching She Said Yes to Herself Unapologetically on T.R.I.V.I.A's Inspirational Radio. Everybody have a great night.
Baltimore and surrounding areas, get ready for a day to remember. Saturday, May 13th, 2023, from 1 o'clock p.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. Join us as we celebrate the Mission Meets Ministry second annual Pre-Mother's Day Fashion Show. Enjoy the show, lunch, networking, and other wonderful activities. We want to give you an unforgettable Pre-Mother's Day celebration. This amazing event not only provides a special day to recognize and celebrate mothers, but it also gives us the opportunity to contribute to an amazing cause. A portion of the proceeds will go to Grace Beyond the Walls Summer Camp, a camp that serves underprivileged children and families. The show also provides the opportunity to shop with our amazing vendors and the chance to purchase specialty raffle tickets for this momentous occasion. This is not only an event, it's an experience. If you'd like to purchase tickets, sponsor the event, or make a tax-deductible donation, please visit www.TR.IVIAsinspirationalradio.com or call 443-803-2489. Do you want to be a host? Welcome to your future on T.R.I.V.IA's Inspirational Radio. T.R.I.V.IA's Inspirational Radio can be streamed 24/7. The shows can also be viewed across its global radio station on the World Wide Web: Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Apple Store, Google Play Store, and via podcast. Join the network. Like and share. Become a host. Build your audience. Customize your show experience. Share your message with the world. Your show awaits you. T.R.I.V.IA's Inspirational Radio is light years above the rest. So connect with T.R.I.V.I.A at www.TR.IVIAsinspirationalradio.com today. As with any offer that's out of this world, it's available for a limited time. So make sure you visit the website today. This message will self-destruct in 3, 2, 1.